Deep within the Richtersveld, a desolate mountain desert in South Africa, lies a legend whispered on the wind, a story of immense treasure and an even greater terror. It's the tale of the Grootslang, the great serpent. The story begins in the dawn of time, when the world was new and the gods were still shaping the earth. They made a colossal mistake, creating a creature of immense power, astonishing, cunning, and a cruel, dark heart. This was the Grootslang, part elephant, part serpent. It was a beast of unimaginable size and strength. Realizing their error, the gods attempted to undo their creation. They split the Grootslangs into two separate species, the first elephants and the first snakes. But one, the original and most powerful, escaped their divine judgment. It slithered away into the deepest cave it could find, a place that would become known as the Wonder Hole or Bottomless Pit. This cave, they say, connects directly to the sea, some 40 miles away, and deep within its winding, dark passages, the Grootslang made its lair. But it wasn't just darkness it coveted. Over millennia, it developed a ravenous greed for precious gems, particularly diamonds. The cave became its hoard, a glittering treasure trove filled with more diamonds than the rest of the world combined. The Grootslang would lure creatures, and later, people, into its den, not for food, but to guard its ever-growing collection of jewels. Its legend grew, a chilling bedtime story told to warn children away from the dangerous, unexplored caves of the region. But legends have a way of attracting the brave, the foolish, and the greedy. In the early 1900s, an English businessman named Peter Grayson decided to test the myth. An avid adventurer and prospector, he heard the tales of the Wonder Hole and its diamond-hoarding serpent. He scoffed at the local stories, believing them to be mere folklore designed to scare off rival miners. Grayson was convinced that the cave held a massive, untapped diamond pipe. He gathered a team of experienced miners, equipped them with the best tools of the era, and set off into the Richtersveld, determined to claim the treasure for himself. For weeks, they searched the unforgiving landscape. Finally, they found it a dark, foreboding entrance to a cave that seemed to swallow the light. A palpable sense of unease fell over the men, but Grayson, driven by his ambition, urged them forward. They descended into the earth, their lanterns casting long, dancing shadows on the damped cave walls. The air grew thick and heavy, and the silence was broken only by the drip of water and the crunch of their boots on loose rock. As they ventured deeper, the cave opened into a massive cavern. The light from their lamps caught something in the darkness, making it sparkle with 1,000 points of light. It was treasure. Piles of uncut diamonds, bigger than any they had ever seen, lay scattered across the cavern floor like pebbles on a beach. The men gasped, their fear momentarily forgotten, replaced by sheer, unadulterated greed. They rushed forward, stuffing their pockets and bags with the glittering stones. But their celebration was short-lived. A low, guttural hiss echoed from the shadows, a sound that vibrated through the very rock beneath their feet. A colossal form began to uncoil from the darkness. It was larger than any elephant, with a long, serpentine body covered in shimmering scales. Its eyes, ancient and intelligent, glowed with a cold, malevolent light. It was the Grootslang. Panic erupted. The men scrambled, dropping their newfound wealth as they fled for the entrance. But the beast was impossibly fast. The last thing Peter Grayson's team ever saw was the monstrous serpent lunging from the darkness, its immense jaws wide. None of them were ever seen again. The only evidence of their expedition was a few scattered tools and a single, terrified survivor who had been posted as a lookout at the cave entrance. He told a frantic, unbelievable story of a monster emerging from the depths before he fled into the desert, never to return. The legend of the Grootslang doesn't end there. Even today, the story persists. Modern treasure hunters, armed with advanced technology like ground-penetrating radar and sonar equipment, are still drawn to the They come seeking the Wonder Hole, lured by the promise of a fortune beyond imagination. They dismiss the stories as local superstition, a way to protect a secret stash of diamonds. Imagine Tim geared up and confident, stepping into the cool, dark mouth of that same cave. The air is still, the silence profound. They switched on their headlamps, beams cutting through the ancient blackness. As they navigate the narrow passages, they feel a growing sense of being watched, a primal fear that technology cannot explain away. Then, they find it. A cavern opens up before them, and their lights illuminate a scene from a fantasy. Gold coins, glittering jewels, and fist-sized diamonds lie in heaps. The sight is breathtaking, overwhelming. The greed is intoxicating, and for a moment, all caution is thrown to the wind. They are blinded by the promise of gold, but every treasure has a price. As they fill their packs, a sound echoes through the chamber, a low, resonant hiss that freezes the blood in their veins. They stop, looking around, their eyes wide with the dawning horror. One of them turns, and his face contorts in pure terror. He sees it, the guardian of the horde, emerging from the deepest shadows where the lights cannot reach. And in the dark, the guardian waits. Then chaos. Quick flashes of movement, a serpentine body striking with the force of a locomotive. Golden jewels scatter through the air, glinting in the frantic beams of their headlamps. The screams are swallowed by the immense darkness of the cave. Because, as the legend warns, none can escape the curse of the serpent god. The Grootslang, it is said, is not just a guardian, but a test. It allows those who enter to take a handful of gems, a small reward for their courage. But those who succumb to greed, who try to take more than their share, will become part of the treasure themselves, their bones left to mingle with the diamonds they so desperately craved. So, is the Grootslang real? Is there a cave in South Africa filled with a dragon's hoard of diamonds, guarded by an ancient serpent-elephant hybrid? Or is it simply a powerful story, a cautionary tale about the dangers of greed? Perhaps some mysteries are best left unsolved. Perhaps some treasures are meant to remain hidden, deep within the earth, guarded by the shadows. The Richtersveld keeps its secrets well, and in its dark and silent caves, the legend of the Grootslang lives on. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of myth and legend, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the shadows. See you next time.